Hello, boys and girls. This is your old friend, the Dreamfinder, here to set off on another grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom.
The Disneyland Limited now leaving for a grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom. All passengers board.
Star Tours announces the boarding of the Endor Express. All passengers, please prepare for immediate boarding.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. To those guests who've just joined us, welcome. For those of you standing, please hold on to the handrails throughout our journey and stay clear of the door.
Please keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the train and remain seated at all times. Now then, hang on to them hats and glasses, because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
I am Sam, the American Eagle, and I am proud to introduce the Grand Circle Tour podcast, a celebration of Disney parks, but mostly the American ones. I really like these guys.
Aloha, passengers. Welcome back to the Grand Circle Tour. Jungle Skipper Jay here. We are going to have some fun on the river tonight because I am with my two favorite co-hosts, Mindy and Stan. Mindy, how you doing?
I am so good. It's a little different day to record, but that's totally okay, and excited just because it's Easter. But we're happy to be here.
Well, we never get to see each other in daylight, so this whole natural lighting thing, I'm feeling a bit Norma Desmond on my end.
And I just woke up like an hour and a half ago, so you get what you get.
Stan, how are you doing? I mean, you look tired, buddy. How was celebration?
Yeah, I'm just off the plane from Celebration last night, and it was exhausting, but so much fun. Yeah, I had an absolute blast, and can hardly wait for Anaheim next year.
I know, passengers, I wish you could see Stan because he's got this big smile on his face, but his eyes are tiny little slits because he's so tired.
He's got Star Wars hangover.
Yeah, that's Star Wars hangover. Ian McDermott said during the convention, he said that Star Wars keeps him young and happy. And wow, is that ever true? That's exactly what.
If I was getting Emperor Palpatine royalty checks, I would stay young and happy too.
Yeah.
So what's up with you guys? Mindy, what's up with you?
What's up? So it's not really per se for me, but I did, and I'm really excited. So this week we heard about Disney Plus coming out, and then it's going to be $6.99 a month, and I am so excited about that. I was kind of reading up what's coming out with it, and it comes out November 12th. That's correct, right? But I don't know about you guys, but I am so thrilled to be able to get that, and they're going to do their own shows and be a lot like Netflix. And I was telling Brandon about it, and he's like, how can that be? How come it's so cheap? And I'm like, I don't know, but all I know is we can watch any Disney movie at any time. So I'm really excited about it. I hope that they have the classics in there, the cartoons. I know we talked about that, but I really do hope they put the classics in there for us to do nostalgia nights and watch the old cartoons, the ones that, are politically not correct.
I was just thinking, I know everyone's thinking the same thing. Is Song of the South going to be available?
Yeah, I don't know. I hope so. If they're doing them all, I don't know. I doubt it, but I really hope so. Because it is a classic. And kids will understand the attraction a lot more, which is Splash Mountain. It's based on that. You can get the movie bootlegged from Amazon. You can buy it. I do own it myself.
I do, and I know Stan does.
Most Disney hard diehards do own it, but some have never seen it.
It's it's like that and the Star Wars Holiday Special, like where they use DVD players for the longest time.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, that's another one that would be interesting if they put the holiday special on that Disney Plus. I can't see that.
I can never, ever watch that again. I had a bootleg for years, and I threw it away when we moved because I could never see it again. Because friends would want to come over and see this thing they've always heard of. But it's not something you can sit through sober. Like, you have to drink as you go along. And it's so long, by the time B. Arthur is singing in the cantina, you're 3 sheets to the wind.
Oh my gosh.
Because it's horrible. It is the hardest thing to watch.
I don't even know what you're talking about, but it sounds funny.
It's like a fever dream when you're dying.
Oh, that's funny.
So, Stan, what is up with you?
Well, where do I start? Holy cow. What an amazing 5 days. You know what? I'll pick one topic and I'll feed off of what Mindy said with the Disney Plus. First of all, 2 years before it comes to Canada. Oh my gosh, how is this going to work? I'm going to have to something. I don't know.
Wait, what? It's not coming to. You can't get it November 12th?
No, yeah, I can, but in 2021.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea.
Yeah, so I'm really hoping that some of these like the movies, whatever, I got them all already. But like The Mandalorian, we went to the Mandalorian panel at Star Wars Celebration in Chicago, and they showed us the trailer, and they streamed the trailer, and then they turned off the stream for everybody else, and for the people in the panel, they showed 7 minutes of the show. I am so excited for this show. I think I'm more excited for this show than I am for episode 9. It is going to be an amazing, amazing show, and it's basically the trailer, that the little clip that they showed us that was 7 minutes long is the Mandalorian. He's a bounty hunter, and he goes to this guy and he goes, "What bounties do you have?" And the guy says, "Well, I got these ones." He goes, "I'll take them all." He goes, "Oh, you can't take them all." He says, "You have to, this way. What's the most expensive one?" He goes, 50,000 credits. He goes, "That doesn't even cover fuel these days." He says, "I need something more than that." He goes, "Oh, there's one, but it's really dangerous." And so the Mandalorian has to go somewhere to see someone else to find out this information about the bounty. And it is extremely well done. And one of the amazing things, like Dave Filoni's involved in it, who does the Clone Wars and the Rebels. So he's an executive producer on this. So one of the things that they did was they were shooting a scene and they needed a lot of stormtroopers. And you think ILM would have a lot of stormtroopers hanging around, but for whatever reason they didn't, or Lucasfilm. But so Dave Filoni made a call, and they put out the word to the 501st, which is a fan-based stormtrooper troop type of thing. And they're all over the world. And they put out the call that they needed stormtroopers. Well, stormtroopers showed up. And they had plenty of stormtroopers to shoot the scene. And he said, and the 501st stormtroopers, the fans that came out to do this, they weren't told why they were coming. They just said that Lucasfilm needs you for a favor. Come on down. And it was to film this scene for The Mandalorian. And he said that the 501st stormtroopers were better actors than the actors they hired to play stormtroopers, because they knew how to be stormtroopers already. And what is amazing about that is these 501st fans that were in this scene or in this show, now their armor is screen-used armor. So their armor just went up in value big time.
Oh.
So yeah, it was very, very interesting. I can hardly wait to see this in 2 years. I'm sure Canada will get it somewhere, either Hulu or maybe on regular TV or Netflix or something. I'm sure.
Stan, you come to my house for a weekend and we'll just watch Mandalorian a whole weekend, then I'll put you back on a plane.
Yeah, well, they're going to be releasing them a week at a time. Now, it's not going to be like Netflix where you get it all at once. It's going to be each week you get an episode down. You can watch, you can stream. So they're doing it a little different.
I almost like that better because Jessica Jones sucked me in and stole a whole weekend from me.
As usual with most shows on Netflix.
Yeah, well, I usually watch like I watched Orange Is the New Black, and my wife and I, we watched it. And we watched an episode a week. We didn't sit down and watch the entire. Very few Daredevil I watched in one weekend like that. But yeah, most of them I'll do one episode a week anyways. So
I try to stay away from the series episodes because when you start watching it, we just binge watch it. We did yesterday, and we did one a couple weeks ago. Oh my gosh, I felt like we didn't get anything done. We just sat there and binge watched it. It's like next one, and I hate that because it's like that 19 seconds of your next episode will play, and you're like, should I do something with my life, or is those 19 seconds you got to make that decision.
I got 19 seconds. Do I go pee or do I wait another hour?
So I know it has nothing to do with Disney, but it's a really good show. It's on Netflix and it's called You. Go watch the pilot one. You'll be sucked in. It's really good.
What's it about?
It's about this guy who's he runs a bookstore, and he gets obsessed with this girl, and it's he narrates it. It reminds me a lot of Dexter. Like, it's got that Dexter feel to it, and it's really, really good. Go watch the first one. It's called You, so it'll suck you in. It's pretty it's rated R, so just FYI there, people, but it's really, really good. Go watch the trailer to it. Just type in You trailer on Netflix, and it's really fun.
Jason, do you have a waltz up?
I do. And mine's not a new waltz app, so to speak. I shared this on the page last week. But I finally got the Epcot vinyl record, the soundtrack to Epcot. And there's only one big pressing of these back in '83, and they've never made them since. And what I was listening to it, and what is fascinating about this album, there's 12 tracks. Only one track is still in use. Everything else on the album is extinct.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. Golden Dreams is the only one still in use.
Wow.
I mean, the main entrance medleys changed. A computer song no one ever needs to hear. Magic Journeys is long gone. One Little Spark, sadly. What's really funny about this album, and I've never seen this on another Disney album, but you flip it over on the back, it has pictures of the attractions, and it says the attraction, but then who they're sponsored by.
Oh, very interesting.
They used to do that a lot. Like when you used to have those souvenir magazines at Disney World and Disneyland, they would say this attraction, it would say sponsored by Kraft and General Mills, and then it would talk about the attraction. And the little magazines, they used to do that a lot.
I have some of those magazines.
Yeah, check them out. You'll see which ones were sponsored by.
I have a vintage, it's from 1979. I have a vintage, like, it's a map, I guess. It's like a guide, I guess, of all the different parks.
Is it the fold out?
No, it's just a little flip book. I'll bring it with me to California and you can see it. It's just a little open book, and it has all the pages in it, and it goes through, and each one says like sponsored by, and then it says Kodak, stop and go here for a picture. Like, it's really funny. And an advertisement about Kodak, and those little lights that used to stick on your camera and they blow up. The little one-time use flash cubes.
Yeah.
I know, for our younger listeners, I don't think you can imagine a day when you go in without an electronic device in your pocket to keep tabs with people, because we had payphones in the parks.
True.
And then you would buy a little camera, disposable one, and you had no idea what your pictures were going to be. You couldn't even preview them. You would drop them off and go, fingers crossed, I don't look silly.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember doing that. When I was little, we'd go to Disneyland. I grew up going to Disneyland, and my mom would get me a disposable camera, but I didn't take pictures of people. I took pictures. This is me, because as a Disney nerd, I grew up with it instilled in me. I took pictures of the attraction, like with me on it, so I could go back and like flip through and watch myself going through the ride. So yeah, I did that.
This is why we're all friends, because I know I did the same. I took pictures. I would try to like take pictures of the attractions at really weird angles with like tree limbs in front of them or anything to make them look interesting.
I think the last attraction I did that on, it was the boats at Disneyland. They're not there anymore. They're not there anymore, but they were boats, and it was over in front of the Matterhorn, and there's a platform you got on them, and they tried to save it and turn into the gummy bears. Do you remember that?
I do.
So I have all these pictures of the gummy bears on this boat ride that you drive. It's kind of like the Autopia, but you drive a boat.
Motorboat cruise.
Motorboat cruise, yep.
And it really, for anybody that didn't do it, it is going, I wonder if that was fun.
Nope.
Not even with the gummy bear overlay.
No, and the gummy bear overlay, all it was like painted wood gummy bears. There wasn't anything It was just posts of wooden pictures.
Do you remember back in the early to mid 90s where the Disney afternoon was big and they had those all down Small World Mall?
Yes.
Like take a picture with a wooden Darkwing Duck.
Yep. This just shows my age, you guys. So I'll be honest. So June is my 40th birthday. So I'm getting up there, but we'll talk about that when we come there. It's going to be a sad, dark day.
You're just a kid.
You know,
Man.
40 wasn't bad. I had no problem turning 40. 41, however, was a whole different story.
I don't want to turn 40. I'll just stay 39.
That's what Jack Benny did. I mean, that's what's on his tombstone. Jack Benny died at 39.
Yep, that's me. Just going to die 39.
Don't say that. This might be your last episode if you say that.
Knock on some wood.
Knocking on my head.
I got a long life to live, people.
Dang
Big
right you do.
goals, things to do in this world. So
Just get into Star Wars. It keeps you young and happy.
You know what? Being a Disney fan keeps you young and happy.
Yeah, it does. And if you love both, you're happier and younger.
And if you collect Disney records, well, then you're all set.
There you go.
Wow. So like 15 minutes in, we should probably get to our topic. We do have a topic.
All right.
So thought it'd be fun to talk about when your trip is up and coming, when you are down to the last 7 days before your Disney trip. I myself like to put on a different Disney movie every night, different video leading up to my trip. Doesn't matter what it is as long as it's Disney. We thought we could talk about like what are our top sevens, because I know they're going to be totally different and we're going to love each other's lists.
yeah.
I kind of went about this differently than you did, Jason, so that might be interesting. I was thinking someone's first time going was what I was thinking, and what movies they should watch before they go to Disney for the very first time.
That's a good one. Wait, you know what?
I thought that's what we were doing.
Oh,
That's what I did.
you know what?
This isn't for the experienced
Like
traveler.
movies to watch before, or things to watch before your trip. Like
Yeah,
what
okay, but
gets
anyway,
you
it's the
ready.
same. It's the same category.
Yeah, you know what?
Okay, cool.
They're all going to be great.
Okay, good.
Well, I didn't decide because, like, passengers, we're recording like a week before the episode comes out, which is really early for us. And I didn't assign homework until like late last night.
Okay.
So this will be a fun one.
All right. It's gonna be.
So, ladies first.
Okay.
Mindy, what is your?
All right. So my first one is I've got a few, and I'm gonna go with Indiana Jones. Yeah. If you're going to Disneyland, however, not so much Disney World, but if you're going, well, yeah, because they have the stunt show, Stunt Spectacular. But Indiana Jones, if you've never seen it, watch it. The attraction at Disneyland is amazing, and it's straight out of the movie. So you really won't have a clue what it's about unless you watch the films. So Indiana Jones.
Are you just saying like Raiders or all the movies, including the two bad ones?
Oh, no, just the good ones.
Okay.
You could
So
skip
one and three.
I had Raiders down as the top of the list.
Yeah, Raiders, that's a good one. And is it the Ark? I don't know what the name of it is, but
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are my two favorites. And I actually like the Crystal Skull. I really like that one. I watched that one too. It's the newer one. So
Log out. We're done with you for the day.
I don't know. I like it too. I think Jason's the one that has to go.
You gotta go.
I don't like it.
I do. I love it, and I hope they make another one. I doubt it, but I hope so.
It's
they will.
in the works. They said it's going to be out in the next couple of years.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. My Indiana man is not dead, so let's live
Not
on.
yet, at least.
I love Indiana
Not
Jones.
Kylo Ren's in the film.
So
Not
watch
the
Indiana
years,
Jones.
the mileage.
Yeah, it'll help and get you ready for your trip.
So Stan, what about you? What's the first one on your list?
Well, I'm going to cross Raiders of the Lost Ark off the top of my list because that was the very first one I wrote down. Was Raiders of the Lost Ark. I agree completely, and it works great for both coasts. It truly does. Again, my number 2 that I wrote down, no surprise, and again, this will work for both coasts, and it's kind of 2 movies, and there's number 9's coming out pretty soon in December, but I think if you watch Star Wars: A New Hope and The Force Awakens, you're going to get the bulk of what's happening in the parks. If you've never seen any Star Wars movie before and you're making a trip to Disney World and you don't know what ones to watch, I would say A New Hope and The Force Awakens, because then you get the beginning of the new trilogy, the old trilogy, the original trilogy, and the beginning of the new trilogy, and you'll kind of get nearly every character, other than a few minor ones, but you get all the major characters. You'll kind of have an idea what's going on when you walk into Hollywood Studios or Galaxy's Edge in either East Coast or West Coast.
I'm going to skip them and just ask Brandon who the characters are.
We're going to tie Mindy down and watch it with her.
Yeah, I like that, but would you recommend throwing in Revenge of the Sith just so they get some prequel knowledge in them?
You know what? There's very little prequel stuff happening in the parks. It's almost like Disney's slowly erasing it. They bring back a little bit here and there. They do snippets of the prequels, but honestly, there isn't that much. Like when you think about what is their prequels of in the parks, when you walk through, it's all original trilogy and the new trilogy, and it's more and more new trilogy rather than original. It's
Disney Star Wars they're using.
Yeah, which A New Hope isn't. A New Hope, well, it is now because it's 20th Century Fox, but it's mostly the new trilogy. When you walk through the parks, it's all Rey and Kylo Ren mostly. So you watch The Force Awakens, you know who they are, at least.
And BB-8.
And BB-8, yes, that's another one you need to know. Chewbacca is a good one to know. Kylo Ren.
So how about you, Jay? What do you have?
I took a totally different approach from you guys. Mine is a 30-minute documentary featurette from 1972 called The Magic of Walt Disney World. It's something they played in theaters, and you can still buy the movie posters. It's a really neat look. You're at Walt Disney World in its opening year.
Yeah, you know what? I watched those too. I love it because it's funny. Before YouTube, oh my gosh, it really tells my age. So growing up, my kids we'd buy off eBay. So somebody would go to all the parks. And we have them from Walt Disney World, and we have like a 30-disc set. So they'd go and film every ride, and then you could buy them. So I have like a 30-disc set, and you put them in, and you watch the attractions, kind of like you do on YouTube, but it takes it back to like getting in the feel of being in the parks, right? So that takes you there, and you're like, I'm in the parks. So I think
there are days I wonder if you and I were separated at birth.
I know it's true because I do the same thing. I really watch all those videos, and I'm pretty sure I own every single one of them. All the ones with Stacy too. I order all the every 2 years we'd get a new one and the old one of the videos that Disney would make, and get the DVD sent out and rewatch it. That's me.
I used to have the VHS they released at Disneyland. Every time a new parade came out, they would release a VHS tape of it.
Yes.
So I had Electrical Parade and Lion King and Hercules.
Do you remember the one that was the Fiesta one with the big balloons?
Yes. The 30th.
The 30th, yep.
Wow, no, I'm showing my age.
That's a good one. I really like that one. So it's more than just movies, and I have more than movies on my list too.
Yeah, like I said, it could be anything that puts you in the Disney mood. For me, the Magic of Walt Disney World is a really cool one to watch because it doesn't set up an expectation for you. Mm-hmm. You kind of get to see it at its earliest stages, so your mind will fill in the blanks after you watch it.
Yep.
What is your number 2, Mindy?
Okay, so we are going back because, again, I'm with you. So this is of Disneyland, but you can watch ones of Disney World. You can YouTube them and just play it off your phone or your TV if you sync your TV to your Blu-ray. But I'm going with, it's going old to the oldies, the Disney sing-along of Disneyland. It's again, I grew up, that's what I did. It was VHS when I first got it. But I watched it every day when we like get ready for a Disneyland trip and put it in because it just takes you there and you get in the Disney mood. Well, when my daughter was born in 2002, we had a TV and it was on a stand and a little VCR, and we'd lay her on the floor for her nap time and put this tape in. And she watched it so much that it would eat it, and she'd bring it out to us and the whole tape would be like out, and she'd be like, fix it. Little 1 and 2 year old, and put it back in and wind it back up. So it got eaten. It obviously had its day, but now you can get it on DVD. So
they have them on DVD now?
Yes,
DVD.
you can get it on eBay. Or not eBay, on Amazon. You can just order it. Disneyland Sing-Along. It was only like $10.
Because I used to have all the VHSs, and I would buy them and be like, oh, they're for my kid sister.
With the little join right in and sing along with your favorite Disney
Yeah.
song.
For my time at the Disney store, and they would play those in the background. They
Yes.
have like one laser disc for an hour. I can still sing the hooky now. And I can still say Dosha Sal Pistic Frangicali Rupus.
That's awesome. I'm pretty sure I lived in the Disney stores just so I could be at Disneyland for a day.
We'll have to do a Disney store episode because the old school Disney store was the best.
There's still one, and I showed you. There's still the old school style at Scottsdale Fashion Square in Arizona. It is legit old school.
I loved being a Disney store cast member way more than being a Disneyland cast member.
I bet.
That's a better experience. But that is a story for a different day.
Yep.
Stan, what's
just
your
like rebuilding that mountain of plushies at the end of the night every night.
I got some great stories about Plush Mountain. Because people think it's like a giant mountain of plushes. Well, it's really not. It's a row of hard plastic shelves.
These ones are wood at this store, so they're still there. They still have the Plush Mountain.
Do you know how many times we just don't say anything because you'd see like a young teenager be like, I'm going to run and jump. No, Stop.
What is wrong with these teenagers? Running and jumping into.
We all wanted to do it. Don't lie.
Yeah, but
everybody wanted to do it. I'm pretty sure I tried.
But the first time you watch a guest go flying into it head first and then bounce off, you're like, do I laugh?
Or do I call a medic?
Or mall security. Let's just go to Wessels. Figure it out. They're young.
Oh, wow.
So, Stan, what is your number 2?
Well, I'm going to go off of the YouTube type shows that Mindy was talking about, but I'm going to go a little bit more current. And for someone planning their trip, Big Fat Panda, he's been on our show a few times, and he has amazing videos as to what's currently happening at Walt Disney World. Not so much Disneyland. He has done a few Disneyland ones around Cars Land and that, but most of his are Disney World only. But you could check them out if you're planning a trip to Disney World and you're a little bit intimidated and don't know where to start. That might be a good starting point to find out what to look at, what to check out, type of thing, and kind of know what you're getting into.
I love it.
He is a good friend of the show. We love Panda.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm actually kind of in the same vein with you there, except mine are Martin's videos. And passengers, if you don't know who Martin is, he has a YouTube channel, or just go straight to martinsvids.net. He does these amazing documentary style videos on attractions.
And does he do Disney World or Disneyland?
Everything Disney.
Okay.
He's doing an Epcot series right now. And his videos are about an hour each.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
His Tower of Terror one is my favorite. I mean, he shows you how it works, the whole history of it, all the changes. He'll pull up the blueprints so you can see
Michael's the best.
Yeah. Martin's videos are addictive, and they're just kind of like a great way to just check out for an hour.
that just shows our geek level, because anything that has blueprints to the attractions, I'm like, ooh, yeah.
I watched all 3 of his documentaries on the land.
I love it.
Get out the popcorn.
So martinsvids.net. And I think what I'll do is a lot of these, when the episode comes out, I'll put links in the show notes so everyone goes straight to these.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Mindy, what is your number 3?
Okay. I'm going to go with, which one? I could say Peter Pan, because it's on both. And the only reason why is because it's a really popular attraction, especially if you have little kids. You'll understand what Peter Pan's attraction is about. My husband's actually never seen Peter Pan, and it drives me crazy.
Wait, it's a film about 2-hour wait times?
That's true. But I'm going to say Peter Pan. It's a great one.
You could watch Peter Pan
cartoons
in line for the attraction.
You could, yeah.
You could watch it twice.
Twice. It's so short. It is. So I'm going to say Peter Pan.
I was thinking that one as well. I didn't put it in my top 7, but no, that is a good one too. And when I asked my wife which one she thought, that was the first one she mentioned, was Peter Pan.
Yeah.
You know what's funny, guys, is I have an animated feature on my 3rd. It's the only animated feature on my list, but it's Beauty and the Beast.
Good one.
Because if you're only going to watch one animated film, watch the best, the very best.
That is a good one. Because here's the thing, if you're going to go and be a lucky one to get reservations for the restaurant, Be Our Guest restaurant, it makes so much sense. And it's awing when you go inside. It looks just like the film. It's crazy cool. It's really fun.
And I'll have to cross that one off my list, because I had that one on my list as well.
We all think alike.
Yeah, but that's okay. I had a few bonus ones that I could call up. I'm going to go over to the West Coast, and I'm going to go with Cars for actually both coasts, really. Or Cars Land in California Adventure, as well as now they got the new Cars attraction at Hollywood Studios. If you're going to Art of Animation Resort at all, they have that huge Cars area as well in Art of Animation Resort. So I think that would be one that, if your kids have never seen it or you haven't seen it, watch it before you go. Because that's one that you're going to be, who are these talking cars otherwise?
That was on my list, so scratch that one.
And that's just a great movie.
It is. Not number 2. No.
I liked number 2 because I love the whole Bond thing, but I want to give listeners a quick tip. At the time of this recording, if you're going to Hollywood Studios, the Lightning McQueen show has no wait times right now. There's no signage. It's not on the guide maps. People don't know it's there. So if you're heading over to studios and you want to do something without a wait, that one has no wait times. It's like having empty performances right now.
Good tip.
Well, I haven't heard that. By the time this show comes out, though, it will be.
It's only a week away.
Okay.
So, Mindy, what is your 4th night of video?
Okay, so let's talk. Definitely, it's a must, is to see Pirates of the Caribbean.
Mm.
And the first one's fine. You don't need to see them all. But just enough to know where, if you're going to go on the Pirates of the Caribbean, because it has come full circle. The attraction was not made with the movie in mind, but they made the film, and the film then turned the attraction into the movie. So I think when you see Johnny Depp in the attraction, you'll have a better feel as to who he is if you have not seen Pirates of the Caribbean.
Should I also see the Haunted Mansion movie as well?
No. You can just go ahead and skip that one.
You can actually slap yourself for saying that.
I hope they make a better one.
I hope not. Don't touch the mansion with your crappy movie stuff.
Well, they're making one with The Rock about the Jungle Cruise, and I am excited to see that.
I love that The Rock is playing me in that movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah, proper casting there.
It is.
Total.
Yeah.
Identical.
And they must have came to
No,
you
I
and said,
have hair.
who do you want us to cast for you? I'm guessing that's how it worked.
Well, Tom Cruise was at the top of my list, but he's too old now. And, Ryan Reynolds just isn't handsome enough.
Well, you've got, you could have done Channing Tatum, anybody.
Why did I think of that guy first? Hey, Stan, what is your fourth night of movie?
Fourth one? You know what? I'm going to go with Saving Mr. Banks, just to kind of get a background story on Walt himself. I kind of thought that because they talk a lot about Walt in that movie. It's kind of what he was sort of like, and to give you an idea about the man himself before you step into the parks.
That's an excellent choice. I can't believe I didn't think of that one.
Oh, wow. Mindy, did you think of that one?
I did not, but that's my favorite film. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's filmed in Disneyland.
Yes.
Yeah, and that way you're like, I'm sure if you're a parent, you know that Walt was a person, but often children don't even realize he's a person when they're going to the parks, and something like this might make them realize that this is an actual person that made this stuff.
Yeah. I love that because it really is one of my top 5 favorite films. As soon as it came out, I was glued. I think I went to see it 3 times in the theater. It's one of my favorites, and I watch it a lot, probably once a week, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah.
But now I have to ask you, are you like me? Is the proper viewing order Saving Mr. Banks, then Mary Poppins, then Mary Poppins Returns?
Of course. How can it be any other way?
It's a great Sunday afternoon right there, by the way.
Truth.
So my fourth one is an episode of the show from 1970, and this one's titled Disneyland Showtime. You will see very young Osmonds and a very young Kurt Russell walk around Disneyland, play on the attractions, and see the bands at the time. And it's also the making of the Haunted Mansion.
I love it.
What did this get? 1970, the show?
It's an episode of the Disneyland show from 1970, okay. And this one's called Disneyland Showtime. And again, you get to see Disneyland 1970 before there's no Big Thunder. There's still the old Mine Train Through Nature's Wonderland.
Yes.
You get to see the pirate ship.
Mm-hmm.
Fantasyland. You get to see the great big Jungle Cruise. You just get to see everything as it was in Walt's day.
Okay, I haven't seen. Is this on YouTube?
You can. Yep.
Okay.
It's a good one.
Young Osmonds. Donnie gets lost, and they spend the day trying to find Donnie, but they're riding rides.
Yeah.
Kind of sounds like the Muppet with the Disney World one.
That's kind of the plot of like anytime a TV show goes to Disney.
You have to watch it. Yeah.
Someone gets lost. Every time. Whether it's the Olsen twins or Kermit or Donny Osmond. They're all going to get lost in the parks at some point. Stay away, children. Parents, your children.
I bet you the child leash was invented from watching it. Every time someone went to Disney on TV. So, Mindy, how about you? What is your fifth night before Disney?
Okay, this is going out with a bang. So I'm going to go off, kind of piggyback off you, and you can watch it on YouTube. You don't have to own it like I do have it, and we watch it. It's funny, Brandon's like, again, man, I mean, he comes upstairs and I've got something Disney playing on our TV to fall asleep to, but watch opening day of Disneyland on YouTube. It's a special they did, and it is narrated and hosted. It goes back to the classics and really puts the nostalgia of Disneyland there, and you see Walt do his opening speech. And you can see all those memorable things of the park and the way they used to look. And it's got little snippets of just the history of it. It's such a classic. You definitely got to watch it. Just go to YouTube and type in Disneyland opening day. It's about an hour long. And it is amazing.
It's 2 hours, and I would say
2 hours. You're right. It's a while. You have to sit for it's a while. I didn't realize it was 2 hours, but it goes.
It feels like an hour though. It's a great show.
It goes by fast.
Very
like
quick. Yeah.
Young Ronald Reagan's in it. But pay attention to what's going on in the background because it's recorded live and there are so many mistakes happening.
Art Linkletter was hosting, and when he was at the 50th hosting, which was really cool to see that come to fruition, I went to the 50th and Art Linkletter was there to dedicate it. And it was such a cool thing to see him host that again. So definitely that show.
Definitely watch it. Watch that Slice of Black Sunday, as they called it.
Yeah.
Dan, what about you? What is your fifth one?
Fifth one? Is this my final one? Are we doing 5 or how many are we doing?
I was going to go 7 unless you guys want to go 5 because we are running a little long.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do some honorable mentions after.
Yeah.
I say if you haven't seen it, and it's possible now that many young children haven't seen it. I'm sure that a certain age they have, like 10 and up would have. But Frozen is still very prominent in the parks. And it's something that you might want to watch before you go so you can kind of know what's going on. If you've never seen it, that's the one that I would rent or buy or get or however you watch your movies. Soon it'll be on Disney Play. You'll be able to watch it there. But yeah, Frozen is one that I would suggest watching before you go just because it's very prevalent in both parks.
Good one.
Yeah, good choice. Frozen's a great movie. I think it gets a lot more crap than it deserves.
It does.
Not by little girls.
Because it's overplayed, but it's a really good film.
It made so much money that everyone hates it.
Yes.
But it's a great movie. I mean, I loved it. I loved it enough to buy the Blu-ray.
Yeah, me too.
I caught my husband watching it the other night. I walked in at him. Like, are you watching Frozen?
Why, yes, I am.
Are you enjoying it? Yes, I am.
Can I just let it go? Sorry, I had to. I couldn't resist.
Let it go.
Stan, let it go.
Just let it go. Let that joke go.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, exactly.
So for my fifth one, again, it's another episode of the old Disneyland show. This one is from 1968, and it is called From Pirates of the Caribbean to the World of Tomorrow. And it's another slice of seeing Disneyland in the old days.
Ooh, good one.
You literally get to see creation and the opening day.
Sorry. Sorry. I went to go get this and I just dumped all my DVDs on the floor. Sorry.
He's got a drink dispenser in his bed.
Anyway.
It's a Coke machine in there.
She didn't like my answer, so she started breaking stuff.
Yeah, I think she had a Coke machine in there. I heard money going in and a pop came out.
No, all the DVDs just fell out of my cases. Oops. Anyhow, okay, back to the show. Sorry about that.
Oh, that might just stay in. What was I? Oh, so what's really cool about this is not only you get to see like the creation of pirates, you get to see the opening day.
Good
you get to see some very non-PC behavior you would never see at the parks today. You get to see pirates on opening day in its full non-PC glory. And what's really cool about this, and I can tell you guys how I did it, but the 8-minute clip of pirates they show beginning to end in that video is an alternate score to the ride. So yes, I do have that as an MP3 on my computer.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You also get to see brand new 1968 Tomorrowland when the People Mover was new and Adventure Through Inner Space was new. Carousel had just been brought. It was the Disneyland, it was the Tomorrowland Walt set in motion before he passed away.
Very cool.
The world of tomorrow, the world on the move.
I think after listening to Jason's answers, I got a lot of YouTubing to watch.
You do.
All sound
I got
really
another
good.
one.
We'll get to D23. I'm just going to sit you down in front of my laptop and be like, you have to watch this and this and this and this and this.
I think I'll watch them before D23.
So the reason why I made all that commotion was to grab this So I've had this for 20 years. It's from our first Walt Disney World trip, and I know my listeners can't see it, but it's taking it out to the East Coast, Walt Disney World, The Walt Disney Story, 100 Years of Magic. This right here is so great. It takes you around all the parks. It's really, really cheesy, you guys. It was filmed in 2001. But the Walt Disney World part, it says, commemorate your stay at the magical destinations with a unique souvenir that will stir your fond vacation memories for years to come. This thing has been played so much, it's scratched. My kids have watched it a million times. It goes to all the parks, rare footage of Walt Disney World, and future possibilities of his legacy. And then there's a second part to it called the Walt Disney Story. And it's wished upon a star. The Walt Disney is an inspiration filled with rare footage, interviews, and photographs to tell a story of how Walt and his brother Roy started out as an inspiring artist. He went on to produce innovation televisions, and the Walt Disney Story is a truly extraordinary tale of the man himself. So this DVD, it's amazing. It's really cheesy, you guys. It's 20 years old, so give it that. But if you're going to Walt Disney World, it's a great one. You can look it up on YouTube. It's there.
I used to have it. I'm going to find it on YouTube. I'm going to post a link for all the passengers to find it.
Good. You had that one too?
Yep. This is the one from Walt's 100th birthday.
I think it is. It's his 100 Years of Magic. It's so scratched. It's like, but it plays in a Blu-ray, so I'll take it. Won't play in a DVD player, just a Blu-ray.
I think I see bird marks from here.
I'm sure.
From the laser.
Yep.
Have you ever seen the video when Barbie went to Disney World?
No.
You want to talk about cheesy?
Oh no, you're right. I have.
For a while there, they had a Barbie stage show at Epcot.
You are so right, at Epcot. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
I watched that.
Yeah, it's something else.
See, but that's our family, is we'll just turn on stuff into the background and watch all those cheesy shows, and we've seen them all. My kids know more about that kind of stuff, and they know the history, and it's really funny because they definitely can hold their own because we watch YouTube videos. That's all we do, and it's really fun.
I do that at work all day. I throw up YouTube, and I'll just let it play in the background.
That's so fun.
And like the Martin videos, I'll throw out Martin's videos, and I'll just be like, oh, I guess we'll have the History of World Showcase today while I've got to crunch some numbers.
Yes.
For my honorable mention, I'm going to go with Avatar. If you're planning a trip to Animal Kingdom and you're going to go to Pandora.
That was my next one.
Yeah, I think Avatar is something that people would be best to know what the heck is going on a little bit. Now, for those of you who don't know, Avatar is set several decades before the world of Pandora is set. In Avatar, it's kind of a war movie. There is no war anymore happening. The Na'vi and the humans are now coexisting on Pandora when you go to the world of Avatar at Animal Kingdom. So it's like looking into the future. Like, Avatar is like a prequel to the land.
Is it like a historical document for the people of Pandora?
Yeah. So when you go there, you'll see that there's like some weaponry and whatnot, but it's overgrown. It's no longer used when you walk around Pandora. When you walk into the kitchen, it's like a military style kitchen. That's the theming, but it's no longer used for military use. It's now used for visitors to Pandora to use.
Very fun.
I haven't seen Avatar. I was going to wait till after I went to Pandora to watch the movie.
No, you should watch it. You should watch it before you go to Pandora, because it is set before you go to Pandora. So it will give you a better idea as to why things are the way they are at the world of Pandora in Animal Kingdom, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. How about make it like good plane viewing right before you get to Disney World?
Yeah.
So Mindy, find honorable mention for you.
Oh man, I could go on and on and on. There's so many that I could mention. I mean, but I'll go with, okay, I'll just name some out there. Watch Silly Symphonies, watch Lucky Rabbit shorts, But be sure to watch True Life Adventures. Those old films from the wildlife movies. I really feel like it's going to put you in Adventureland and get you in the mood. There's so many fun things to watch, and it really does take you into Adventureland and give you that feel. So if you're going to get excited, maybe you're like doing countdowns up to your trip, watch a few of these. Watch what's some other ones? Let's see, like the Pixar shorts, any of the princess films. Brother Bear, if you're going to go to Disneyland and go to DCA, that's a good one. So you're watching it and going into the wilderness part of it. I just threw out a whole bunch there. And the last one would be for me, the Disneyland, the first 50 magical years with Steve Martin. You can watch that on YouTube. It played in the Opera House for a while and on Main Street. And it's really amazing. It shows some of the great parts of the early parts of Disneyland and the classic attractions. And it's a documentary about the early parks and just about, of course, the happiest place on earth.
Those are great suggestions.
Yeah.
I like those. Mine is going to be, had a hard time narrowing this down, is going to be the Three Caballeros, especially if you're going to Disney World. Watch some classic Disney.
Love it. True.
And that way, when you take your kids on the ride, they know what it's about.
Yes. Yeah. Because they really won't. And it's a film that not many people know about or know that even exists if you're not a huge Disney fan. So you won't really have a clue who they are unless you watch it.
And it's a great movie. It really is.
It is.
It's in that window of World War II where they weren't making Cinderella or anything like that. It was kind of a combo film, but it's a great film. It's a fun film.
It's
so enjoyable.
A fun film. And they're in Small World at Disneyland. If you're going to go there, you can see them built into the attraction. So that's a good one.
Yay! So do you guys have any final thoughts before we bring the Jungle Boat back to the dock? Oh.
Yeah, for our passengers that are listening to us, if you have a movie that you think somebody should watch, could you please post it on our Facebook page? Let us know what movies you watch yourself or which movies you think people would enjoy. As well, Dan, if you're listening, Conductor Dan, who won? How many points did we get with our picks? Let us know.
Well, you stole my closing lines, so you lost.
You just got your points.
You stole my whole closing. Good night, folks.
No, it's we've got it. If we do have listeners that want to give us some tips, because there are so many to watch. Those are just a handful, but there's so many to watch. So it really does help get in the Disney mood and do a countdown and watch. Like some people watch one a night and or one a week and they make a big party out of it and do a different theme. Like, if they have a year to go, they can watch 52 movies and do the countdowns. It's so much fun to be able to watch these films and get in the Disney mood.
And you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a poll on our Grand Circle Tour Magic ticket holders Facebook page. And we want to hear what your movies are, what your TV shows are. What is it you like to watch before your trips?
Yes, definitely.
Hey guys, as always, I had a great time.
Of course. That was a fun episode.
Not bad for coming up with it 12 hours ago.
True.
And with that, we're back at the dock. Say goodnight, everyone.
Good night,
everyone.
If you would like to keep the adventure going after the show, be sure to like our Facebook friends page, Grand Circle Tour Magical Ticket Holders. While on Facebook, like our group page, Grand Circle Tour. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Grand Circle Tour Podcast, as well as Instagram, GCT Podcast, and our YouTube channel, Grand Circle Tour. If you would like to send us a message, you can email us at gctpodcast@gmail.com. T-shirts and other fun merchandise can be found at tpublic.com. Simply search Grand Circle Tour Podcast. If you enjoyed your adventure, leave us a review on Apple Podcast. Only one rule, make it good. Thank you for riding with us, and welcome home.